Like here, live. Everything is gone. It is up. What's up, guys? Justin R. Harris here. Thank you for checking in on today's live session. I go live every time with the investments, with the business playlist. I have these two playlists that I go through. You guys know what I'm doing here. So I'm just checking on everything right now to make sure the audio and video is good. Make sure all my formats here are set up so that I can deliver the presentations that I want to give you guys today, especially because we're down here on this one here. So I have my cameras all set up. Thank you guys for checking in. Looks a little crazy here. Let me make sure it's all good. Once again, Justin R. Harris here. So, all right, you guys see what's going on right now. Everything is collapsing. The housing market is dropping. Everything is just falling off the market, and you already know why. And that's why I want you to check in, because that's what I'm going to dig into, and we're going to cover that format. I have a lot of great information as to why everything's falling off. If you're an investor, you're looking at different types of properties and things like that, that's where I can guide you, especially when it comes to commercial. That is my specialty when it comes to commercial. Don't even want to wear this hat right now. I really want to cover this because I want to get down to the nitty-gritty, and that's how we're going to dig in right now. All right, so covering some of the facts here today. We understand that with the reports that are going on, National Association of Realtors, Redfin right now, Zillow has finally started giving information that is not so, what's the word I'm looking for, exaggerated. Like, you know, they have historically gotten in trouble for things like their estimates, and then, you know, them dropping off on purchasing homes like they were doing for a while. Looks like they're kind of backed off from that, and they're a little more conservative and understand their presence out there in the industry. Finally, right? So some of the information I'm going to give you guys, also from the National Association of Home Builders, they have some great information on exactly what's happening and why everything is falling off the way it is. So we're going to give the National Association of Realtors update and their info. We're going to give Redfin's info. We're going to give Zillow's info. We're going to give National Association of Home Builders info and tell you why all of this is happening. That's what you guys need to do. And actually what you need to do, you know, it's crazy when I make these mistakes on here and I'm trying to keep you guys entertained and deliver that amazing format. I forget this is live. I can't edit. I can't go backwards. I can't do any of that. So I got to stay sharp and remember everything that I'm actually covering. I have my notes here so I can stay on my content. And it's crazy. As much information as you know, sometimes you forget more than you know. And that's what makes it great about editing, because you can always back right back up and go back to your notes and so forth, and then stay on topic. So before I start losing topic any further and getting messed up even further when it comes to all of that information, go over to YouTube and like and subscribe and follow and do all that good stuff. And then we're gonna dig right in and cover these facts, because I don't wanna waste too much time talking about how many mistakes I'm making here with this video footage. We're just gonna dig right in and go to it. So here's what's going on. I jumped right into the National Association of Home Builders because I wanted to discuss exactly what they're talking about here. And it's clear. It's clear. They said rising mortgage rates, high inflation, low existing inventory, and elevated home prices caused housing affordability to fall to its lowest point since the Great Recession in the second quarter of 2022. Insane. And they're exactly right. You have to understand something. Material costs went up. Why did those costs go up? Those costs went up because fuel prices went up. Fuel prices went up globally, okay, not just here in the US, for the obvious reasons of everything that's happening all over the world. Not even to talk about drought and war and all of that, but fuel prices have gone up. Okay, so what does that affect? Everything, because you have to get products to someone, right? So I'm not going to cover all of that in detail, because if you don't understand that, please go back to Economics 101 and figure that out. I'm not doing that. So if you get that, then you understand what's happening, right? So builders, they're like, all right, that's part of the problem, right? Then you have increase in mortgage rates. With the volatility of the mortgages happening right now, with the United States doing its quantitative tightening, right? So then you see the mortgage rates creeping up, going down, creeping up, going down, creeping up, going down. People are borrowing less because they're getting killed, okay? Where they thought they were going to pay so much a month, they're seeing that they're going to pay so much more a month, right? It's all common sense. So one thing's affecting the other. And so these new construction homes, people are backing out of these deals, regular home sales. People are backing out of these deals. These are all the problems that are happening, and as a result, the housing market is collapsing, it's dropping. It's not going to fall apart in a sense that it's going to be some sort of traumatic event. I keep repeating that to people. I want you to understand that that's not the case. But when you see stuff like this, these are facts. National Association of Home Builders pointing it out. According to the NAHB, Wells Fargo Housing Opportunity Index, just 42.8% of the new housing existing homes were affordable to a typical family. Right? 42.8? What? Let me tell you something. So there's about, I wrote my notes here, 19% of home build. Look, the home builders, the big companies, we have here, we have Lennar, they're a national one, they're large. There's Minto Home Builders, there's Ryan, there's all these different home builders, right? What's happening right now is 19% of all the home builders here in the U.S., they're actually dropping their sales prices just so that they can get people into those homes, because they understand that they're in a situation where they have to meet their margins, right? And if those numbers don't happen, then the investors involved and so forth, that whole thing tanks. They can't have that, especially if some of these projects, some build as they go, right? And some build the entire community and sell, right? So whatever their strategy is for how they're building out their communities, they're in situations right now where they almost have to do a fire sale to get these homes sold, to get the project completed. So where an investor would have thought they're going to walk away with this number, they're now walking away with this number, right? So whatever those numbers are, I'm not going to go into specifics because obviously I don't know their deals, but I can tell you that what they expected to see as profit is not going to happen. So as a result of that, we can't even have that conversation. But I can tell you that the facts are there. Mortgage rates hiking. Let's not forget taxes. Taxes are a whole nother problem. If you purchased in the last year and a half now, your taxes are greatly going to go up. They're talking about 50 to 75% increase. What are we talking about here? We just can't have these kind of numbers jumping like that all the time. People are getting killed. There's a $300 to $500 a month increase in your property tax, right? Listen, the government's saying, hey, no problem. We're going to go and we're going to wipe out student loan. Where do you think that money's coming from? Middle class taxes, okay? Nothing's free. Nothing is ever free. There is no free lunch. People are getting like screwed one way or another to fix one problem or another. Is fixing the school debts, fixing these what is the term? For some reason it's slipping my mind right now. Paying back these student loans. Student loans is the word I want to say. Paying that back is not the crisis we have right now. That is a political move to make this guy look pretty. Like, look what I achieved. No, dude, what you achieved was the worst recession we've had in a very long time. That's what you've achieved. Now, I'm not focusing on a political agenda. I could care less whether someone is Republican or Democratic. I don't care. I'm not going to tell you mine. It doesn't matter to me, right? I'm not here for that, and I'm not pushing that. But I will tell you that when someone makes a mistake or when they're wrong, they're wrong. That's not the focus. So don't be misled by the fact that that's what they're, hey, look over here. The problem is the recession. Okay, so he's trying to win public opinion by achieving one thing over here, but really what he needs to focus on is what's happening over here. Okay, so don't go running for the mills on some nonsense like that. It's probably what I really want to say there. All right, so, switching over, we go over to Redfin, right? And they say it right there. Housing market update. More sellers retreat amid falling prices, volatile mortgage rates. This is exactly what I was talking about. It says new listing of homes for sale fell 15% in the 4 weeks ending August 21st. 15%, right? Biggest annual decline since the start of the pandemic, as there were fewer sellers and buyers in the market due to rising mortgage rates and economic uncertainty. As a result, the supply for sale of homes fell 0.6% from the previous 4-week period, right? Why do you think that's happening? Sellers are like, you know what? I don't need to sell. I'm not going to sell right now. I'm just going to wait. I'm not going to get the number that I want. So what do I sell for? But then you have the other seller. The other seller is like, I have to sell. Oh my God, I got to come down in price because I got to get out of this house or we're going to end up upside down, right? So you don't know which one you're going to get. This is the buyer's market because if you can buy right now, go and clean the shelf. Go get it because look, if you can get the qualification you can with the lender that you would like, right? You get the rates that you want because the rates are going to go up again. They drop down a little bit. They're going back. Gas prices, watch, they're going to go back. So unless they make the deal with Iran, if that works out, I don't know if everyone is aware of what's happening with that. So if that deal works out and there's 100 million more barrels out there available at our disposable, our dispose, so that we can go out there and fuel these cars and fuel businesses and fuel the trucks and the shipping industry and get all that stuff booming and prices come down like they're supposed to so the economy can pick up a little bit. You see those steps right there. I think it has a lot to do with the sanctions and everything that's involved between the U.S. and Iran and global movement of oil. So, all of those politics are involved right there. So they're fixing that problem. Maybe that will help. Maybe it won't. But it's all related. You have to understand. You have to pay attention. That's what I'm trying to say here. So we go back over here and we see, bam, look at that pretty $100 bill. This is on Realtor magazine from National Association of Realtors. It says inflation increased slightly in July, which could bode well for housing market in the months ahead, says Lawrence Young, chief economist of the National Association of Realtors. Overall, inflation slowed 9.1% in June, 8.5% in July, but prices for food, rent continue to climb. Watch. It says gasoline prices posted 7% monthly decline, significant contributor to the recent moderation in inflation. However, prices remain 44% higher than a year ago and 104% higher than 2 years ago. Also, the CPI, Consumer Price Index, showed that the rising cost of food up 10.9% in July. Watch these numbers. Pay attention to this. Rents continue to rise in July, right, compared to a year ago. A statement, ongoing housing shortage, it's according to Young. Listen, on Wednesday morning, the 10-year Treasury yield stood at 2.7%. That should translate into a 30-year mortgage rates pulling back under 5%. Right. So there will be more buyers. The banks want more buyers, but the Fed Reserve is about to go up again. So if you can go out there and you can qualify and you can get a loan, go hurry up and do it. Go buy your property, get that knocked out. But be prepared because your property tax is going up. So once you do that, make sure you file for your homestead. If you're trying to do this for investment properties, then you are investing. Be prepared to take on your risk. Don't forget to calculate that so that those numbers are included in your pro forma when you're moving forward so you make a sound purchase, right? That's the whole point there. So we went over there. Then I jumped over to Zillow because I had to. I talked about Zillow. I wanted to bring Zillow back in the bag so I could talk about them some more, right? So according to them, they said competition intensifies over scarce suburban listings, right? That was their article. That was, I don't see the date on that story. That looks like that was the most recent one. And then you see the number, you see the articles that they're talking about, you see what's happening. They're becoming a little more realistic with the information they're giving. And at the same time, it's factual. I like facts. I only like facts. I don't want to touch anything if it's not facts, right? And they said mortgage rates increase on stronger economic data than anticipated. July new home sales, new construction cool down continues. That was August 23rd. Cooling down is an understatement. Trust me, it is a freaking, they're hitting the brakes. And that's why, listen, if a all right, so if a builder has to drop price, if a builder's dropping price, there's a problem. No builder wants to drop price, okay? There's so much markups there that when they have to start cutting back, they are very unhappy. And if the lenders, the investors, or whatever the groups are, sometimes it's equity groups, it's different things like that, when they start seeing that, and that's a problem, they're looking at exit strategies right now. This is a part of the business model that no one wants to touch. You don't want to be looking at the exit strategy. They're looking at exit strategies right now. How do we get this taken care of and get out? That's what's going on. Now I need you to get out. Thank you guys for checking in. Like, subscribe,